Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. I know another review today, but today we're going to be looking into this album's 15-year anniversary, and it's from one of my favorite metalcore bands. And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about Thrill Seeker by August Burns Red, the band's debut album released on November 8th, 2005 through Solid State Records. Now, everybody should probably have known or at least heard of August Burns Red at this point. They're a metalcore band from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to give a little bit of back history before this album came out. They formed in March of 2003 when the band, some of the members were in high school, and they played like locally. Actually, that area of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, it's very Amish country, and I saw like a little documentary on YouTube about where they're from, and it's like very farm like. And in fact, they even like rehearsed in like a at their drummer Matt Griner's like old egg house and basement in his like family's farm, and they played like little local shows. And then their first EP they put out in 2004 called Looks Fragile After All, and they had like a different lineup, and they had on this album compared to what they had their current lineup now. Originally their vocalist was a guy named John Hershey who sang on the first EP, but he actually quit, and then they got Josh McManus. This was actually before they even got Jake Lures. And hell, they even didn't even have Dustin Davidson on bass. Yet they had a guy named Jordan. I can't remember his name. But yeah, eventually they got signed to Solid State Records in 2005. And they put out their album Thrill Seeker in November of that year. There, so yeah, and this album compared to like some of their later albums, it's just falls into typical metalcore style. They have like breakdowns, some heavy parts, some melodic parts, and just some harsh vocals. Like the vocals sort of like carry the aggression, and a little bit with the instrumentation. There's also a little bit of like instrumentation with the melody, and I feel like Josh's vocals on here is different from Jake's. They sound similar but a little bit different. Just the instruments wise, JB Brubaker comes up with some great like riffs and leads, and Brent does a good job with the holding down the rhythms. Bass wise, Jordan, I feel like the bass isn't a little bit audible. Isn't audible as like on later albums. From of course when Dustin joined. And then drumming wise, Matt Griner can do no wrong. Great drummer in my opinion. In fact, one of the most underrated like drummers in like metal and period. Like he's insane. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Your Little Suburbia is in Ruins, which the opening riff and the drums are just really fast and catchy, and then it just leads into a great breakdown. And this whole song is just fast paced and just in your face, and the riffs are really great. Great, and this album doesn't really let up after that, and then it leads into the next song being Speech Impediment. It just continues sort of like as like the last song. It gives us like really great lyrics, especially like put your heart where your mouth is, and a night of foolish chatter is easily replaced by a couple of bold statements. It's just a great song, and I just some great lyrics to go with it. um, Endorphins. And this song, compared to like the previous two that we've heard so far, is a little bit different. And there's some parts of the song that sound kind of very like a metalized punk, and I just don't know why. It's pretty different. Um, and moving on to the next song on the album, which is called Too Late for Roses, which starts off with sort of like typical ABR riffing and some great drumming, but it's not until like a minute in that it just turns around. And then there's a slowdown in the song, which gives it a little bit of like a touch and emotion. And the slowdown down is in a little bit is like scattered throughout this album, and it's pretty great to have like and really refreshing from the rest of this album. Um, Next song is Barbarian, and this song is pretty much the my opinion one of the best August Burns Red songs they put out. It has some really catchy riffage and some of the best solos in here, and this song is pretty much shows how much the talented the band is. This and yeah, and now we're gonna go to the other songs. Which I think I'm not really gonna go like in order of the songs like a track by track like I've done any songs. So we'll just skip go to the which I think pretty much every all these the rest of these songs like Reflective Property, Dia Wishful and Dreams, Consumer, Shot Below the Belt just falls in like the typical formula. They have like screaming, just some great guitar work, some breakdowns and everything. But the one songs I want to talk about is the last two songs on here being Eye of the End and the Seventh Trumpet, and those two songs really just go together really well. Especially Eye of the End is like a little bit of an instrumental, So it's just really just showcase what the band can do instrumentally, and it leads into the final song being Seventh Trumpet. And this song is pretty much the longest song that August Burns Red has done, period. Yeah, yeah, it's like a little over 8 minutes long, and I consider it to be sort of like their epic, which is kind of interesting. It has like some heavy parts, some even like a little bit like slow, like melodic parts as well. Pretty interesting way to end this album. End it with like an 8 minute song. So overall, Thrill Seeker by August Burns Red, it's a pretty solid album. But I feel like with after they got in the Jake Luers and Dustin Davidson, they pretty much had the solidified their sound and pretty much what really made them. But they just progress and just get better with every album and song. So if I were to give this album a score, I'm gonna give Thrill Seeker by August Burns Red a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of this album, guys. And I'm actually gonna watch a live stream of this on the 14th. So if anybody's gonna watch this album played in full, well, I hope so go check it out. It's gonna be interesting seeing like Jake singing some of these songs on here. But yeah, overall, thank you guys for watching this little video. See you all in the next one. As always, keep it metal.